Dan Rothenberg and Joe Klosik, two guys trying to figure it out. Not the right wing, not the brosphere. Left of center with humor and empathy. Dan, we just hit a big milestone, though.
We did.
We had our 20th episode.
Wow.
That is posted on YouTube. And if I'm counting correctly, this is actually, we're recording our 22nd episode right now.
Wow.
So,
We should be proud of that. We should celebrate.
We got to be proud of that, buddy. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. And it's going to happen. We're getting technical.
It's going to happen.
You should spread the word now, because we're going to be like REM in the 90s. You could say it was cool when you knew us before we became cool, because we're going to become cool. It's a matter of time.
I think if you use a reference that nobody under 30,
I don't know why I
45 would use, we might, that might lose the whole purpose of.
Why them? I remember people saying
that's okay.
I knew them before they were cool. I don't know.
Oh yeah, everyone knew. Everybody saw them. Oh, they were the band at my junior high graduation.
I'd talk about seeing the Counting Crows at Slim's in California, but that would even make me seem more old. That would
even the more who? The where?
The Counting doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I remember them. You remember them, but we're old men.
So
Can I bitch about something for a second? This is becoming like a regular theme with us, and I hate to admit. Oh, it's fucking kicking me in the nuts, man. You rely on it so much. So my phone updated last night, and it's a iPhone 15 Pro. It's pretty up to date, you know. Got all the bells and whistles. I'm pretty comfortable on it. I know where I've put stuff. I know what it's supposed to do. And then this morning, it was like non-functional. Like, oh, you have to click this to do this now. Oh, wait, we've updated the service agreement. Oh, if you want to do that with photos, you're like, what the fuck is happening? Mm-hmm. And this is what they do, man. This is what they do in the middle of the night. They sneak in. They press a bunch of things.
Upside down.
Turn it upside down, and they say, hey, look, we've made it better. No, you haven't. There should be like a setting for under 45 years old and over 45 years old. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. I
got it set up
here, and I'm good.
I know what it does. I know where everything is. I know what buttons to press. Now, my whole life in disarray. Right.
I have never had a problem like that with an update to an iPhone. I mean, usually it's... What
thanks, Dan. Thanks.
Hey, what can't you do?
Well, you know what it's at? Now I have to go into everything and set up two-step authentication. Now I also have an AI assistant. I don't want an AI assistant.
Authenticate what?
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
And I know it's all good for security. I know it's right, but it's like, fuck, man. I can't relearn every 6 months how to access shit on my phone.
What do you want to access?
I want to get to my photos. I want to go to TikTok. I want to. It won't let me. On your files. You can also access stuff on your computer, on your desktop, and for whatever reason, it's not connecting and letting me do that. They've moved things around, the button isn't, so I like, where is that? I thought I had that. And it's just like, you guys, come on.
It makes me wonder, like a 18-year-old or a 22-year-old. Does it not faze them? Or are they just like, oh yeah, just did it?
I think they have the neuroplasticity and the adaptability and the resilience.
Okay, so in that sense,
they grew up in it.
That's the one sense they are more resilient than us. We can at least acknowledge that. That's the one.
I will acknowledge the little
they're
shits.
More emotionally balanced and resilient.
I am just as emotionally balanced as an 18-year-old, Dan.
Wow.
Maybe more. God damn it.
Listen to you.
It's infuriating. It really is.
It's upsetting. Because we come from a world of tactile. Hi, I'm him.
Yeah.
Let me in to my Descript account. I don't want to get into that again.
Oh my God, that's what that's what it feels like. But
I want to build on what we talked about last time because I think it's really
all right.
It's a meaty subject. Manhood.
What manhood? Yeah,
Democrats. A combination of Democrats missing the mark with young men, and what does that even mean in the social construct and in politics? What is? Let me ask you this: is there a definition of a man we can all agree on?
No. I mean, no. I mean, there are many definitions, but we're not going to agree, right? I mean, I think the Republicans, conservatives, they tend to believe that they own the idea of the man. You know what? I'm going to take a woman and hunt a bear, and I like my meat raw. You fuckers with your pronouns. I'm going to go shoot a gun, and I'm going to drive my big car, and I'm going to belch bad shit into the air.
Right. There's the toxic masculinity. I think
yeah,
there's something under that, which is very appealing about what about the president towards young men, and I think at the essence of being an American and probably beyond male is a sense of control.
Yeah,
the idea that I can control my destiny from here to there. And I don't really have to, and along with that comes indulging in, because we are emotional beings, indulging in surface emotions like anger, because that gives a sense of control. And what I would say about men is we most want to fix and control ourselves and that around us. And in absence of control, we will settle for the illusion of control. We will settle for the idea or the feeling of control, even regardless of whether we actually have control of our lives, of our wives, husband, whatever. And I think what the current president displays role models, and the way he approaches things does give the illusion of control that appeals to young men. So in other words, I'm going to do this, I'm going to fix this. This is telling you to look and be introspective. Fuck that. Fuck that. You are you're exactly the way you need to be, and you need to plow through life.
Right. And look at who he attacks. He's attacking colleges. He's attacking any organization that suggests empathy is important. He is making anyone who's not a male a second-class citizen. Yeah, it's pretty epidemic.
But just from a marketing standpoint.
Oh, it's but it's basic, right? It's brilliant.
It's very, and I think we have to acknowledge that we're also living in a time where, in order to make money and be fruitful and have the American dream, the corporate structure isn't what it used to be. The corporate structure. And so a lot of, I think, young males are moving more toward the idea of entrepreneurialism and being self-created and branding, having a brand, being this and achieving this. And we have to acknowledge that, for better or for worse, Trump is a brand. He is a he gives the impression of a self-made person that can do whatever they want. Yeah. Whereas, I mean, Joe Biden is not he's an old fart.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean from the eyes of a young person. I'm not trying to be cruel and I'm not trying to be ageist, but he is not an inspiring. He's not an inspiring image. And the question is.
Yeah.
That being said, it's all a house of cards. This idea of manhood and control. And how do you and I, Joe? because this is on us. WTF? Mark Maron's out of business soon. I don't know if you've heard.
But it seems like a choice. It seems like he's decided to move on. It seems like he's
whatever.
But you're right. It's like, okay, there is. He represented, at least in the podcast and social media spectrum, he represented a more introspective, empathetically based manhood model.
Yeah.
Where, hey, look, I know I was shitty in my youth. I did some things I'm not proud of. I'm willing to talk about it and correct. And now it's going to take the two of us to fill that vacuum.
It's on the Splain, clearly. I mean,
it's on the Splain.
25 views.
It's on us.
So
We're growing.
This is on us. But I will say about Mark throwing in the towel, I'm a fan of his, and you got to do what you got to do. But there's a little bit...
It's a shitty time to do it.
There's a little bit of a surrender there. It's not... People don't move on at the height of their relevance. And I think in part... I'm not criticizing him, but it's a very it's a very tough time for him, and it's interesting to look at. Yeah, what does Joe Rogan do that he doesn't do? And
Joe Rogan is such a different animal, I think, than Mark Maron in so many ways, and Maron, I think this is just a personal opinion. I don't know. I think he has just begun to mourn the loss of his partner, who that was like a huge tragedy that blindsided him. About what was that? Mark Maron. Like he was gonna. I think he's just really started to come to terms with that. I also have a feeling like he's exhausted. Like you can't be the only positive voice to counteract all the toxic message that is out there in the media. And my guess is he's going to come back in some form. I mean, he's too, in a purely marketing, if you think of him as a product, he's too valuable to leave on the shelf. I bet you he's already been approached. I bet you he's going to end up doing something else, maybe just a commentator for something somewhere. But yeah, I mean, give the guy a chance to catch his breath. The timing is shitty because it's like, dude, we need you now more than ever.
But do we? Is he?
And you're a fan.
I am a fan, but I think over time it's become harder and harder for him to have a punch and get traction. He's just kind of, and a part of the reason why is because what is this alternative version of being a man that a more left-centered liberal can portray that can get a little traction?
Can I say something?
Question, yes.
I think it's a good question, and I think the answer might actually be in something that you said, that you touched on at the end of our last podcast. I almost said session, like we're in therapy. But I think the answer lies in this. So you were giving your 15-year-old son some advice about women, right? And I think if anything, right now, 2025, a 15-year-old boy is being bombarded from all sides with so many messages about masculinity, and then here you are, the dad.
Right.
What advice are you giving him about talking to women?
All right. I would say this. First of all, I want to approach that dilemma from the place of I would say kind of, I'm a progressive-y kind of guy that wants to be, I want to be conscious of the advice that I'm giving is not grounded in sort of a double standard or a sexism from the past. So,
okay,
I'm going to talk. So here's my main kind of dilemma when I'm trying to help my kid. I don't want to get too specific about this because I don't know if he'd be happy to hear this over a podcast. But fuck it, I'll talk in generalities. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there talking to my kid. My kid is like I was when he was 14, 15 years old. Having crushes, you want to talk to girls, and it's
hard.
It's hard. We're not all Andrew Norelli and Kevin Avery.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
That's a very deep cut for maybe 3 people that are listening to us, but
doesn't
yeah.
Matter. The point is confident. Some guys are, and so you get this sense, that girls are in control and girls are the gatekeepers of happiness, and sort of it's the man, it's we're the ones that are seeking approval, and that kind of lends itself to a trope of sexism. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in the big picture, men control things. So it makes me think about. So on the one hand, I don't want to perpetuate that to my son. Kind of this idea of, chicks. They'll keep you hanging, and they'll keep you at a distance, and you gotta be persistent. You got a lot of old school, what I would probably say, dad advice that I think is a little outdated. That being said, it's okay. God, it's hard to be a kid, a boy, who's all hormonal and excited and wants to talk to a girl. You just get all nervous and you flub the lines, and then you judge yourself, and you're waiting for a text, right? And so I'm kind of walking that line. And
are you telling them just to slide into their DMs? Are you?
No, I'm telling him to try to. That the important thing is that there's ups and downs, and to try to weather that, and it takes practice. And the fact that when I was a freshman in high school, freshman and sophomore year, guys had nothing going on. There was just no. You had no currency, you had no car, you had nothing happening. And this is a time to do your best and get practice in it and get grounded and try to talk.
Debbie, your hair
it's a
looks
lot
nice.
of hey man, you in the
Did you
Yes.
Did you see Star Wars?
And the pretty girls were going out with the older guys. That's how it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still like that.
I think that's pretty universal.
Basically, here's where my version of manhood is different than maybe a classic version of manhood. And the classic version of manhood is a lot easier, okay? It's a lot easier to explain. It has absolutes. Because you get to go, men are like this and women are like this, and this is how you got to work it, and it's a game, right? Whereas I'm the more progressive therapist talking about the important thing is your own self-esteem. Ultimately, you are attractive because you're able to be yourself and kind of be yourself, be proud of who you are, and put yourself out there.
You know what, Dan? I'm hearing a lot of this, but you know what I think your boy needs? He needs some opening lines, okay?
I know.
Some opening lines,
and I don't,
all right?
Exactly. That's what I'm afraid to get into. Kind of the work it like this, play it like this. We watch Swingers together, and we have a lot of fun with that. We did. Wait 3 days. There's a lot of humor around it.
Oh, my God. That is so dated now, though, because that was awesome. There's a moment in that film where they're talking about the answering machine messages. Yeah. The answering machine. I know.
Although it's still,
that is how dated that is now, but
that's the dilemma of the guy 2.0 that we're trying to develop is. Look within yourself. Look at your own confidence.
Right. Where's he getting it?
Don't change for someone. Don't run after someone and try to trap them. Or trap them with your persistence. Or
hey, you're into that, I'm into that too.
yeah, try to be yourself and follow your own talent. Talent is attractive. Confidence is attractive. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, which, even saying that is a cliche. But that being said, you're a young boy and it's hard. And that's when I want to get into a little bit of that sort of absolutes about boys and girls, men and women. Yes, it's hard to be my experience is it's very hard to be a boy and go up and talk to a girl.
Yeah.
That remains. It's hard.
And especially at 15. Like, if you have game at 15, or Riz, as the kids say now.
Ah, okay.
It's Riz. If you have mad Riz, I believe I'm using that. Uh-oh. Are we having technical issues?
Yes.
Oh, geez. I can hear you.
I know.
Can the world hear us? There you go. What's happening, buddy?
Shit. Are you able to edit this out? So it's switched, and now it won't change mics. So now it's the bad microphone.
I can still hear you. I honestly didn't notice any.
All right, it should sound worse, though.
Oh. Well, I mean, I can always play with it later on. I can do,
let's just finish. Yeah.
I also think, like, I would be curious, and a 15-year-old boy can also become secretive, and he might be looking at some stuff online that you would not approve of, but I think it's out there. There's so much material. You have these, the brosphere is a real thing, and these are guys that are telling, boys, 15-year-old boys, this is how you talk to a woman. Right. Basically, you just go right up to her and you insult her, and that's going to make her go, what the fuck? And then,
stuff,
it's, you want to,
that's the kind of stuff, in the end, I don't believe that makes a man. And I don't believe that makes a happy person. That makes a shell of a man, in my opinion.
I agree,
if you want to call me a pussy, it's just bullshit. That is.
But there's so much of it out there. That's the thing, right? Yeah.
Pussy assness. To go up and be anything but yourself. What is attractive to me about people is when you are doing your thing in your element, in your talent.
Yeah. Can I ask you something, though?
Yeah.
As a 15-year-old boy, did you go up to a girl and say something? Did you start a conversation?
No, I was terrible. Here's what happened with me.
Me too.
Here's what happened with me. No, I was pretty scared, and then I kind of came into my own junior-ish year because I was on a couple sports teams, and again, I'm not the best example. I was throwing parties at my house I was nuts.
Yeah. No, I remember that episode. But you know what I do remember,
here's
though?
The point. When girls were attracted to me, it was when I wasn't trying.
Right.
I was just doing my thing, and when I was just doing my thing, suddenly I look back, I was probably kind of a attractive guy because I was on the tennis team and the soccer team and the basketball team for a second, and I was funny. I was a funny guy. I mean, what?
It's not a trial. It's not a trial, Dan.
Ultimately, that's what's cool to me, and that's so. As a man, my vision of manhood is more really looking at yourself in the mirror and not playing people. I don't believe in that.
I think you're right. I think that's a hard message, though, when you're that age. Here's what I also remember. I remember a lot of times, and I think...
You wind up a fucking douchebag.
Yeah. A lot of times, if a girl knew you liked her or she liked you, they would do this, hi, Dan. And you'd be like, oh, hey, Becky, what's up? right? They would initiate a conversation sometimes. And I look back now and I realize what a doofus I was, because I would just be like, oh, hey, and skulk away. And I think they were attempting. I mean, that's the other thing that all of these bro forget. Like, women have agency. They might actually approach you. They might actually say something to you.
Well, that's changed a little bit. Yeah,
it's become. I also think in the age of social media, like, I am seeing and hearing stories of, there's back and forth conversations that are happening on various platforms, and it can start with somebody liking a photo or liking a comment, and then suddenly you're like, huh, so and so liked that I mean, it's a different way of flirting that's also out in public, because then you hear like, hey, I noticed so and so liked your photo, and what's up with that? Like, well, I don't, it's just on Instagram, I mean, she can like my photo. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
And then, high school is now, it's not just a physical place. High school is also online, right? And I also feel like we've all come back to high school just being online. There is this sense of like, oh, everyone can see what everyone else is up to.
Right.
And I can recall having friends send me messages like, hey, I see so-and-so has really liked a lot of your posts. Are you thinking about, and I'm like, oh,
that's cool. And that's cool. I mean, online presence in some ways, when it's creative and you're doing something and creating, there's nothing wrong with that. And I could see that. Like, if I was dating and you're suddenly liking someone, they're into soccer, and you're kind of liking them.
Yeah.
It's again, where I have the different version of manhood is that toxic masculinity. I don't believe in that. That's just me.
Yeah.
When I hear what's his name,
Rogan
and Andrew Prime, what's his name?
Tate.
Yes.
Prime.
Whatever. I hear
that's a Freudian slip. Yeah.
I don't hear intelligence. I hear I hear being loud.
Yeah.
Loud and talking over people and taking what you want and okay. So there is something about that is attractive, that the right owns right now.
Yeah.
And on the left, we're not combating it. We're not giving a solid message to young people, young men. You can you can live your dream. You can work hard. You can do this. Period. End of story.
Yeah. Do you remember the movie Magnolia? Paul Thomas Anderson that came out in the 90s, right?
I saw it once. I didn't like it as much as everybody else, but yeah.
Really? Okay. Well, that's a whole other conversation.
I'll rewatch it.
So Tom Cruise, he won an Oscar for a supporting role in that. He won it. That was his Oscar, right? And he basically plays this guy who has this course to teach men how to pick up women. Right? Like, and also if you remember, like in the 90s, especially the late 90s, it was this explosion of pickup artists, right? That's what they were called, pickup artists, right? And they all had these techniques to create conversations or situations with women, and then to turn that into, hey, they're back in my apartment. Right. But Tom Cruise taught this course, and at one point, right, he's literally saying, and the guys are chanting back to them, respect the cock, tame the cunt. Like that was, and it was, and you're looking back into the audience at one point, and you look at all these schlubs, and they're all looking at Tom Cruise, and they're picturing themselves as Tom Cruise. He's young, he's handsome, he's in shape, he's got long flowing hair, he's loud, and he's saying like, we're in charge, they need to respect the cock, right? And that, I think, is something that is always going to appeal to guys who don't have a personality, who don't really have charisma, who don't have a well-developed sense of who they are and what they're about. It's much easier to just adopt some persona, right? Yeah. And then also, you talked about the illusion
agency.
Of control. Yeah, it's agency.
Of agency, which, again, we are not representing. And so the president could say anything. I don't think it really matters what he says, but this is going to happen, this is going to happen quick, and maybe you can wind up like me in a gold airplane. Yeah. And at least that's something. That's an example. When he says, I'm going to end this conflict on day one, it's not that people believe him, but hey, again, it's the illusion of control. At least that sounds good. On the other side, nothing seems to apply to me, even though it might, even though it does. We are not marketing that well. And as a result, we're going down a rabbit hole. We're getting stupider about it.
Yeah, we are. I mean, honestly, I would be shocked if women just... I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped putting up with us in 10 years. I mean, you know, and I say that half jokingly, but I'm sure, you know, once the robots that have remote control penises come online, you know, right. What are they really? We're just genetic reservoirs that can talk.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, that can annoy. That's really all we are at this point, you know, which is sad, but I also feel like the other side of this is women's response to this surge in uber masculinity has been to become more suspect and to be just more on guard when a man says anything. And that then feeds into this bullshit idea that the men are being told, like, yeah, women are just mean and they're just going to abuse you and take advantage of your good nature and you just got to go in there and assert control.
Right. It's moving backwards. The illusion of control and the illusion of lack of control, and you got to take control.
It's hurting everybody.
I think misinformed and damaging, and that's not how I want to raise my son. I want to try to raise my son being introspective, taking a look at what's, for instance, I love, maybe we'll wrap up on this. I love 16 Candles and Breakfast Club and all the movies
John Hughes,
and I'll
classic 80s.
Yeah. I'll throw in the 90s of Judd Apatow.
Okay.
So looking back on those movies, what I notice is it's sexual frustration from the place of the male. It's always the young men that have it tough, and we can't get there, and we have crushes, and we're awkward and hormonal. Now, it is not looking at the challenges of, and again, this is the splain, so I'm mansplaining a little, but the challenges of young women that seem to me more on the lines of being consent and being sexually abused and being put in really awkward situations. Now, that's awkward. Think about it, okay?
Yeah.
We grew up on movies where men were trying to ask girls that's awkward. What about the awkwardness of consenting to sex or having to say no? I venture to say that's even more awkward.
I would agree with you. I would say the one 16 Candles was from a teenage girl's perspective, right? Molly Ringwald. Mm-hmm. She was trying to figure out, her place. She had a crush
on the popular kid who was lending out his girlfriend while she was drunk.
Yeah, no, it's all of those movies. Like even like some of the stereotypes like around Asians in 16 Candles.
Sure,
I mean, there's a whole running joke about the name, but okay, if we take that some of that cultural baggage and we put it aside, yes, you're right. Like in a very cute and seemingly sincere and non-abrasive way, it was like, oh, this kid's just learning how to be a man and it's coming of age, and yeah, you know what, all the problems are from the man's perspective, and
problems with being sexual frustration is a man thing, giving us the idea that women are in control and we need to get in there and control it. Now here's the thing, for anyone listening, I'm not trying to shit on those movies. I love those movies. I just find it interesting to look back and look at how things have changed. I'm not trying to wokeify anything, and those are conversations I have with my son when I watch those movies, because it's to me, that's the fun part of parenting, is to educate and move on and say, okay, so notice this, notice the perspective this is telling from. And I think a part of manhood is to be introspective, whereas there's another version of manhood that would say, shut up and stop ruining everything and don't show any vulnerability.
Right. Yeah.
Keep our man secrets.
Just have a beer, point to your cock and say, touch it.
Get some. That is
some.
Yeah. So
I think the solution is pretty clear, Dan, for your boy. And may I be so bold to offer the solution?
Yeah, go ahead, Close Go.
Okay, I think, and you're telling me he's great in science, and he's constantly building things, right? So I think he makes a time machine and he goes back to the 80s where he can just apply all of the lessons you wish you had learned in the 80s, and he can get a girl.
All right. We're done. Let's wrap it up. I shouldn't be talking about my son. I am so proud of my son. All right? My son, he is a costumer. He loves to sew. To me, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. Period. You want to challenge me?
I do not want to challenge you. I think it's awesome and wonderful, and I have no jokes in my head at all that are coming to mind. None at all.
Costuming.
I think it's beautiful that your boy loves to sew.
His sewing machine.
Oh, he has a sewing machine.
Rocks.
That is amazing. I cannot tell you how much women love to hear a man sew.
They do.
They do. They have to.
How cool is that?
They have to. Yeah. I could fix that. Yeah. That's.
Okay. So I think how do we wrap this up?
I'll tell you how we wrap it up. Everyone, come on. Hit the button. Subscribe to the Splain.
We don't have the answers. We're trying to figure it out.
We don't have the answers. We're trying to figure it out. Mark Maron is leaving. It's up to us now to carry the torch. Another version of masculinity. His boy sews. Come on.
Yeah, being a man. If we could, being a man is not managing and controlling women.
No,
that's it.
It is not.
I don't believe that.
It's about sewing a decent hemline.
God damn right. We'll see you next time, everyone.
Peace out.